What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the AP Poll Top 25 after week 2. This was released 2 days ago. I just completely forgot to make a video on it, but that's what we're going to be doing today. So, here we go. Number 1, no surprise at all, it's going to be Georgia. Next week they have South Carolina, which should be a pretty good game. But yeah, they got 55 of the number 1 votes, 1,540 points. That's just about as good as you can get. So they're number 1, no surprise. No movement at number 2 either. They're going to be taking on Bowling Green, which should be a relatively easy game. September 16th at 7:30. Yeah, they got 2 number 1 votes. And Florida State had 3 number 1 votes. Move up another spot this week. Take on Boston College, should be an easy game as well. Texas moves up 7 spots into a playoff spot, and they got 2 number 1 votes as well. So, moved up from 11th to 4th. They're taking on Wyoming, which should be, maybe they'll give them a little bit of a challenge, but I think it should be an easy win for them. Number 5, moving up 1 spot, we have USC, who played 3 games while everyone else has only played 2. They're taking on Arizona State, which a little bit of a challenge. I think they will win easily, but they're better than some of these other teams up here. Ohio State loses a spot. Them and USC just swapped. They'll take on Western Kentucky. They just got 4 votes less than USC here. Western Kentucky on September 16th. Also, what I just realized, USC is on their bye week because they've played 1 more game than everyone else. So, they won't have any games this week. That is in 2 weeks. So, next up, not moving at all. They have not moved since the season has started, since the preseason poll. We have Penn State. They're taking on Illinois. Shouldn't be that much of a challenge, but you never know with Penn State. Sometimes they crush teams that we thought would be difficult for them to beat, and then they barely beat really bad teams. So you never know. Anything could happen in college football. Team that didn't move at all this week, Washington. They're taking on Michigan State. That should be a good game. Michigan State has been playing really, really well recently. Notre Dame at number 9. Move up 1 spot. They'll take on Central Michigan. So not any ranked games in the top 9. And none in the top 10 at all. Alabama moves down 7 spots. They lost their first game this week to Texas, and they lost pretty badly. It was not even a close game. South Florida is next up at 3:30. And at 11th, we've got Tennessee. Moves down 2 spots. They did win their game, but not by enough. At least that's what the, whatever you call them, the committee decided on. They'll have a good game at Florida at 7. And Utah doesn't move at all. They take on Weber State up next. Oregon, okay, Oregon did not move. Not many of these teams have moved this week besides Alabama or Texas. They're taking on Hawaii. That'll be at 8 o'clock. And yeah, not much movement. LSU didn't move either. They'll take on Mississippi State. That should be a solid game. That'll be at noon. And oh man, Kansas State didn't move either. They'll be taking on Missouri, also at noon. Oregon State also did not move. They won their game this week. San Diego State's up next. That should be a decent game. I think San Diego State's right outside of the top 25. Okay, here's a team that moved. Ole Miss up 3 spots from last week, taking on Georgia Tech at 7:30, up 3 spots. This is because they beat Tulane, who was also a ranked team. They were 24th, so a quality win there for Ole Miss, and they looked pretty impressive. They beat them by quite a bit. Next up, the team of the year that everyone is hyped up for. We've got Colorado up another 4 spots this year. They had another dominant win over Nebraska, and it just keeps getting better and better for them. I think they actually have a shot at the playoffs, and that might be overhyping it a little bit, but I honestly feel that way. They'll take Colorado State up next. Colorado State is playing terrible, but if they can get another win in, maybe they'll move up a couple more spots this week. You never know. Oklahoma down 1 spot. They're taking on Tulsa next week, 3:30. North Carolina down to 20th. Okay. They won against Appalachian State by like 3 points, I think. So not a very good win for them. A game that they should have won easily. They just barely snuck out of. I think it was in double overtime as well. So they'll take on Minnesota. 3:30. That should give them a little bit of a challenge. I think Minnesota is a solid team. Duke staying at number 25. They'll take on Northwestern, who's been playing at the top of their game recently. I don't think they're in the top 25, but they've still been playing extremely well. That's at 3:30 next week. Miami, Florida. I was very impressed with them. I think they beat, can't quite remember who it was, but I think it might have been a ranked team this week. I'm surprised they didn't move up at all. But they'll take on Bethune-Cookman. Nothing big there. Should be an easy win for them. 23, a team I'm really keen on. We've got Washington State. They'll take on Northern Colorado this week at 5 o'clock. I do think this team has a very good shot at making, not the playoffs, definitely not the playoffs, but maybe like ending in the top 15 or something. I don't know. I think they'll stay ranked all year though. UCLA 2-0 now. They've been playing really well. I do not think they were ranked at the end of last year. Oh, actually, I realized the reason Miami says that they haven't moved up at all is because they were unranked last year. So that's what this also means. It doesn't just mean they didn't move up. It means they were not ranked last year. And that is the same for all three of these teams, UCLA, Washington State, and Miami, Florida. Neither of them were ranked last week, and now they're all in it at 22, 23, and 24. And Iowa also wasn't ranked last week. They started off the year ranked, then they went unranked, and now they're back at the same spot at number 25. Western Michigan at 3:30. But that's it for the pool. Now we have the teams that just barely missed out, and this is crazy news here. We've got Clemson dropping out of the top 25. Crazy. They got 86 votes, though, which is 20 behind Iowa, so they're not even close. Arkansas at 33. TCU, still not back in. Kansas. Tulane just dropped out this week. Wisconsin's been playing solid. I think they have a good shot at making it back in. We got Kentucky, Mississippi State, Minnesota, another team I really like. Cincinnati's been playing solid. Fresno State took down Purdue week 1. Wyoming, Oklahoma State, Maryland, and then James Madison. I do like James Madison a little bit. They only have 1 point, but I think they do have a shot at making the top 25. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We've got new videos coming. I will be going to the beach in a couple of days, so I'll be gone for a week, so there won't be any uploads over that time unless I pre-record a couple to put out, which I might do. But that's going to be it for me. Have a good rest of your day. Be sure to subscribe. Peace.